This is going to be a quick video review of the Eno single nest hammock and Atlas hammock suspension system, which are the straps. This was $42, 30% off at REI. These, I forget how much they were. This weighs 1 pound 2 ounces. These weigh 11 ounces. So let's open it up and see what we have. Straps down. There's the hammock. The bag is attached to it. That's good, so you won't lose it. Here are the straps that go around the tree. They're in a bag that you will lose, probably. This attaches to these loops with a carabiner and has rope going into the hammock and apparently around. The hammock is just flat material. I did notice something on this rope that concerns me. The hammock is rated for 400 pounds, it says, but these straps say 200 pounds max weight per strap. Here's your loop that's around and through. I'll hook this on. Get this around and through. A little bit too loose. I could probably hook it to 2 of these. There we go. That might be too tight. Might be too high. But let's give it a try. So here we go. Nice. Nice. Come on up, come on up, come on up. Come on in. Come on, come on. Oh my God. Well, it didn't break with 70-pound dog and a 230-pound person. It's pretty good. Go get me a Coke. Hand it to me. The bottle. Yes. Close, close, close. Come on, give me the bottle. Give me the bottle. Yes, 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 yes. Good girl. Yes. Hand it to me. Don't pick it up. Or a good dog. Okay, so let's see how hard this is to take down. Shouldn't be hard at all. Overall, I'd say this is quite good. I did notice there's a little fraying of the material here. I'll cut that off with scissors. But other than that, this thing's pretty damn good. Okay, here we go. I got one of the straps stuck in here. I'm going to cut these damn things off. That's not bad at all. I think these things are useless, so I'm going to cut them off. Not bad. Not bad. Really cool setup. I like it a lot.
What's up, turtles? Crick here today with Blackout Outdoors. Going to be doing a demonstration and review of the E&O double nest hammock. This hammock weighs 21 ounces. It's made out of nylon material, so you know it's light. It has triple interlocking stitching. This comes in the stuff sack. There's a clasp that comes over it. This is the stuff sack. It's all self-contained, and when you pull this out of the stuff sack, it stretches out to 9 feet, a little over 9 feet. So just something to keep in mind when you're picking two trees to, you know, put this up in between. Folded, you can get this down to about 5 inches by 4. The stuff sack, the hammock, you know, if you really care, this is a little bit bigger than that. You know, it's not that big a deal just to throw it in my bag at this size. But if, you know, if space was an issue, you could. It's rated, the double nest is rated to 400 pounds to accommodate for 2 individuals in the hammock at once. I would not recommend that with anyone you're not extremely close to, as it is a tight squeeze and you're touching the person from head to toe. But it's possible. And where the carabiners attached to the hammock, there is these little loops of marine grade cordage, so it's pretty strong to hold the weight. And it's the double nest. And I'm gonna go set this up. Let's get this set up. Start with the strap first when I get the hammock set up. This is just some nylon webbing I bought at an outdoor store. Cheaper than the E&O slap straps, which is a pretty cool design. Just for price, I'm just you know trying to get this hammock set up the cheapest I can, you know, still functional. And this just pure nylon webbing, you know, by any outdoor store. Pretty cheap per footage. Depending on the distance the trees are apart, you want to put your hammock up will determine how high, you know, you initially get the strap up on the tree. The closer the tree, the lower you can put this. Get the hammock out of its stuff sack. All self-contained. It's not a separate bag, it's attached to the hammock, a really nice feature. I opted for this green and tan combo. I really like it. Really blends into these eastern woodlands where most of these videos have been shot, or all the videos have been shot. Let's get this other tree ready for the hammock. At the end of this nylon webbing I have, I just tied a simple knot with the loop, just to keep the webbing around the tree. And I choose to use a slip knot for hanging this up, and I know it's not a very strong knot. You can, for, you know, just utter strength, there's so many other knots you can use to get this hammock up to bear weight. But with this just one piece of nylon it's really difficult to untie a really well done knot, you know, an in-depth knot. So I have used this setup with the slip knot. I've slept in it overnight, 3 nights in a row, doing this exact same knot, the same setup, and I have never woken up with my butt on the ground. I'm just getting a lot of, weight on this knot before I put any on it, like to get it really tight, because it is a slip knot. Make sure it's a clean knot, not just a tight knot. Make sure it's a clean knot. Let's do the same thing on this side, same knot. Just leave a little end coming out. Now at this point, just set up the hammock, get it level, the level I want it, how much sag I think is going to happen. And I'll just raise the knot up accordingly for the distance of the tree. The conversation always comes up, what people prefer, a tent or a hammock, you know, sleeping out overnight. And personally, weather and setting being ideal, I would choose a hammock. Setting being, there's enough trees. I've slept in the desert, you know, I've been in desert environments, juniper environments where the trees just aren't going to allow you to get a hammock up. And you can sleep in these to pretty cold temperatures. You have enough layers, a tarp to help break the wind. You can really stay out to, 30 in the 30s. The 3 nights I spent sleeping in this, it rained. I had a tarp above me with the line out, and a down sleeping bag. And the lows were the high 30s, and I slept comfortably all night. So you can accommodate for cold weather in the hammock. And you can see on the hammock, this is the stuff sack that the hammock comes in. And when you're spending, just a day in it or sleeping overnight, it works well. Just the pocket to put, things in your keys, headlamp, some snacks. If you're not going to spend all night and you don't want a rodent trying to crawl down your line at the hammock. Anyways, it's just a pocket. Enter the hammock from the front. If you put it up correctly, you should be able to trust your weight on it and your knot's not slipping. I did an okay job on this one. And there, my hammy's up. So this is the ENO double nest hammock. This is Crick signing out with Black Owl Outdoors. Thanks for stopping by. A piece of loving turtles. What's up? Crick here. Did want to say one more thing. I wanted to show you how much more material is on this hammock being at the double nest. How much more extra material is extra material when it's one person in the hammock. And now I'll disappear. There's multiple ways you can lay in it. With all the extra material, you can do a lot of different things, other positions when you're just maxing out. But the extra material does afford a potential to increase your warmth at night by having just a little flap to put over you, block a slight breeze, keep your face, a little warmer. And to take it down, like I said, with the ease of this slip knot, nice little grip on it, pull it out, let's take it down.
On the left, I have my homemade straps with descending rings, and on the right, it's basically whoopee slings with tree straps. Now both hammocks are set up with ridge lines, and they're the same exact length. They're around 100 inches. Now here in the double nest, this is how the hammock comes. It comes with this cord through the middle and a carabiner on the end. And on my hammock, I modified it. I have some different cord and these descending rings. Alright, some basic information about these two hammocks. They're both made from parachute nylon. They will both support 400 pounds, and they're both heavy-duty triple stitched on the ends. Now the difference is, the single nest over here, it's going to run you about $60, and it weighs 17 ounces. And the double nest is going to run you about $70, and it weighs 20 ounces. But the big difference between the two is how wide they are. They are both 9 feet 4 inches long, but the single nest is 4 feet 7 inches wide, and the double nest is 6 feet 2 inches wide, so it's almost 2 feet wider. Now I've also been using this pillow lately. It's a Cocoon travel pillow, and I would say that definitely helps out in the hammock. Alright, I'm going to start with the single nest and some basic information about me. I'm 6'3", 220 pounds, and I've done several backpacking trips with this hammock, and I've slept comfortable in this hammock overnight. Now one thing you're going to notice is my feet are right at the edge here, and I've had a couple times where my feet will actually come over the side of the hammock and slide out. But I'm still laying pretty flat, and I got a nice diagonal lay. My arm is also pretty close, but this seam does run right up next to my back, and sometimes that will get irritating, and that's when I'll try to pitch over on my side. And one thing I did notice is I really don't get on my side, the side sleep. So for me anyway, can I side sleep in an Eno hammock? The single nest, not truly on my side. I'm pitched, I would say, like on a 45-degree angle, but I'm not completely on my side. Alright, now I'm in the double nest, and as you can tell, there's just a bit more room on this side. And my arm now is inside, and my feet are actually inside the main part of the hammock. So there's obviously a lot more room in the double nest. I'm laying nice and diagonal, nice flat lay, and my feet, there's plenty of room here. My feet are not going to fall out. The double nest is going to be a lot more roomy. Like I said, there's 2 feet more fabric in this hammock. And if you're, stuck between deciding between an Eno hammock, a single, or a double nest, and if you're a larger guy, I would say anyone over 6 foot, I would definitely say double nest. Now, Eno also makes a double nest deluxe, which I think is even 2 feet wider than this. So that's got to be pretty roomy. You're going to be starting to add on some extra weight there. And if you're trying to go a little lighter weight in your backpacking load, that might not be the hammock for you. But this, at only being 3 ounces more, is definitely a good choice. Alright, so I noticed that I actually don't lay completely on my side in my single nest. It's more of a 45-degree angle. Now I'm going to try the double nest and see if I can get, truly on my side. A little bit more, but still, I'm still pitched a little bit towards the back. I don't think I can get completely sideways. Alright, I've been tossing around in this thing for a while, and I've noticed that I don't get completely sideways. I'm definitely more on my side than in the single nest, but I'm not completely side sleeping. So I've spent about an hour and a half in this hammock, and for comparison to my single nest, the double nest actually feels more comfortable. There's more room. I feel more secure with my feet not hanging off. I can actually lay just slightly flatter because I can get more of a diagonal lay. Now, it's kind of nuts because I've tested out two of my friends' hammocks now, and I like them more than my own hammock because they tend to be more comfortable. To answer your questions about the double nest though, if you're, I would say, over 6 foot, definitely go with the double nest. You're going to have that much more room. You're going to be that much more comfortable. If you're a little bit shorter, say under 6 feet, I think a single nest would be fine. For a backpacking hammock, they're kind of like entry level. I wouldn't say they're necessarily backpacking hammocks. You know, when I first got it, it was my first time getting a hammock. It's my first choice. I basically saw it in the outdoor store and I said, oh, you know, that'd be great to sleep in a hammock. And I really didn't do my research on hammock camping, so it's still a good hammock and I'm going to hold on to it. But in the future, I'm definitely going to go with something that's more designed for, you know, camping. So I know this was kind of a short review between these two hammocks, but for me, it was a pretty easy decision, pretty quick to come to the realization that for me, a double nest would suit me much better than my single nest. I think the trade-off with weight and price really doesn't even matter. I would go with a double nest over a single nest. Now I want to give a shout out to Pinto Blades, you know, for giving me the idea to do this comparison, and I also want to give a shout out to Roby1 Kenobi for letting me borrow his hammock. So down in the description below, there's going to be a link to both of their YouTube channels. Go check those guys out. Now, I'm not a hammock expert, so these are just my opinions. But if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment in the description below, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one.
What's up, turtles? It's Crick here with Black Outdoors. Today I'm going to be doing a review on these Eagle Nest Outfitters Atlas straps. These are straps for hanging a hammock. These are available for purchase for I think around 20 bucks. Let me get a quick just comparison with my hammock just for size. I have a double nest right here, so you can see the size relative to a double nest. I could probably get this double nest even packed a little smaller, but you get an idea of the size. They weigh 11 ounces. And get some out of the bag and talk about it, get the straps out of the bag. Comes with this nice little sack, cord lock on the top. Like I said, comes with 2 straps for hanging your hammock. And this is the newer design from E&O. They have the slap straps that I've heard people, specifically to me, complain about on some comments on the video we've done. I personally have never had a problem with the slap strap stretching, or your butt hitting the ground. I know some people have. I have friends who've used the slap straps who've never brought that up to me, but Stoney and I haven't used these to the extent to have really in-depth, time-wise, sleeping with these overnight or camping with them. But we plan on it. There will be probably a video update with how these hold up overnight and whatnot. But you can see the orange highlights in these, and that's it's instead of just the nylon, it's this polyfilament, which is supposed to reduce and I guess practically abate stretching too much, where your butt's going to hit the ground if you're laying in your hammock for hours and hours and hours. And I have a few theories of why people have their butt sit on the ground, which I'll get into once I get the hammock up and talk about a little bit. But they're 9 feet, each are 9 feet, and instead of having these fixed points like the slap strap does, there's these fixed points for the carabiner running the length of it. I think there's 15 on each one. So you got a lot more, small adjustments to do to get your hammock the way you want it, even, not even, all that stuff. You can really play around with it. And what I really like about the 9 feet as well, start getting these up on the tree and I'll keep talking. What I really like about the 9 feet as opposed to, I think the slap straps were 7, is not so much for how far the trees, how wide the trees can be apart when you put your hammock, but how sort of the DBH, or not, I guess if you're putting it up higher it's not going to be the DBH, but the diameter of the tree, having the extra feet on the strap, allows you to put the strap around a larger diameter of a tree and still have plenty of fixed points to put your hammock on. I'll leave that there for now. Let me get the other one up. Should be good. Might have to adjust that. Get my hammock out. I really like this color combination of this double nest. Really blends into these woodlands. Spend so much time in. And just be mindful and cautious when, cautious when you're putting up your hammock. You want to keep it off the ground as much as you can, because this is a thin material. It wouldn't take much for a twig or a stick to rip this. But I like to put it on my shoulder when I'm doing it, and I can hold it, and I can just walk over. That might be way too short. Oh yeah, alright. And with trial and error and practice and the amount of times you put up your hammock, you'll be able to start judging trees, what will work, what won't work. All that good stuff. Just gonna check it for being level now. Bring it down a couple. Actually that's pretty good. That's sort of what I wanted to talk about. Is I think people might be putting their hammock too low. And honestly, this is still a little low. I can still have this up here before I put any weight on it up here, and by the time I get some weight, it'll be down here. And I know that's going to afford me a lot of space. If these are going to stretch, I'm still feet off the ground. Let me bring this up just to sort of demonstrate how high I can even get in it. Just going to loosen this up a little bit just to give myself a little more slack to go around this branch nub on this tree. Bring it back up to the height I want. That might be really ridiculous. I don't know if you can tell, I can't see how much ground clearance I have, but looks like at least it'd be a couple feet. And I can almost pretty much assure you that I'm not going to wake up with my butt on the ground having the hammock this tight and this high up on the ground. And there's a lot of fine tweaking that's involved with the hammock that I've noticed from my personal experience, that if I have, you know, maybe the diameter of the tree, the height I have it, you know, if the straps are sort of coming down like this and my hammock's hanging, the comfort will be a lot different in here as opposed to if I have the straps more parallel, on a parallel line with the ground. You know, you sort of imagine, you know, sort of hanging like here, have the straps hanging in the hammock, or as opposed to being straight and then the tension bringing it down. All those things matter for comfort when you're going to use a hammock. It's things I've picked up on myself, things I've noticed. So just something to keep in mind again when you use a hammock, because it is going to be hammock camping season, at least for me and Stony. I know we're both really excited to get out. Stay tuned for more videos on hammock camping, putting up a tarp with that, all that good stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Crick signing out with Black Outdoors. Later, turtles.
And the product I want to review today and sort of talk to you a little bit about is the E&O Bug Net. Now this is a product I definitely, first of all, I just definitely recommend it for bug nets in terms of hammock camping. But I want to go over it, show you how to set it up, and as I set it up, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of its features. It comes in a bag just like this. It looks very similar to the E&O hammocks. The bag is attached to the bug net, just like the bags on the E&O hammocks are attached to the hammocks, and has a little buckle right here you undo. You can open it up with this little toggle here. Pull that open. Again, this is the E&O bug net. When I pull this out, give you an idea what it is. It's made of a no-seam type of mesh fabric, and it's pretty tightly packed in this bag here. I'll give you a little close-up of this fabric. It's a really nice no-seam fabric, and it is a very tightly woven mesh. You know, I'm very confident, you know, there's not a bug out there that's going to make it through this mesh. But just to give you an idea, see if I can get a macro shot of this real quick for you. I don't know if you can see. There we go. You can see my fingernails through that, and you can tell how tightly woven that is. On the ends, it's made of a very durable nylon material on both ends, and the seams are sewn very well, very tight, very durable. Again, a no-seam fabric. No bugs are getting through that when it's set up properly. Now, I bought it at Gander Mountain. It did not come with setup instructions when I bought it, so I kind of had to figure out how to do it myself. I did go to the E&O website, and they had a very basic setup diagram on their website. I thought I would just go through the setup process with you, though, so that you can kind of see what it's all about. When it's all said and done, it's long enough to cover an E&O double nest hammock, and if you can see that or not, pretty big. Again, just like the E&O double nest and single nest hammocks, the bag is attached right there, and as such. On the top of the ridgeline part, it comes with several of these little clips, and the idea behind these clips is to hang that on a ridgeline. Now, it did come with some cordage, you know, for a ridgeline, but what I discovered was that it's very inferior cordage, and if you've ever gone hammock camping, you know, sometimes the trees you're hanging from are all different sizes. Sometimes they're different paces apart. I generally like to hang my hammock up about 4 big paces between the trees, or find 2 trees that are 4 big paces apart to hang my hammock on. And what I found was the cordage that it came with was not long enough, and nor did I feel it was durable enough to really use. So I'm not going to use the cordage that it came with today. I'm going to actually show you how to use it with paracord. The cordage it came with originally was very thin, very easy to snap over these guys, but I found out that, that using paracord is just as effective. It's a little bit more snug, but it works well. It has 2 zippers. Okay, and each zipper is double-sided, so if you want to zip it all the way up and then zip it down, or you want to zip it all the way down and zip it up, you can do that, but it's also double-sided zippers. So when you're in the hammock itself, when you're in the hammock on the outside, you can, or on the inside, you can grab a zipper and unzip it. From the outside, you can do the same thing. So I'm just going to go over and show you a little bit about how to set it up and how I like to set it up, give you a little bit of an idea of how it hangs with a big guy like me sitting in a hammock, and let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do when you set it up, you want to make sure that the bag on your E&O hammock is empty, otherwise this doesn't necessarily work very well. You're going to take your bug net, and you want to unzip the bug net. You want to unzip it so you can reach inside. Take your hand and go inside the bug net, bring it all the way to the end here so your hand sticks out of that end part. Okay? Then what I like to do is just take the carabiner that I'm using on my one side, unclip it, and then bring that hammock through on that side there. Bring it up through the end, hook it back up to your carabiner. Just like that. Okay? And I like to do the same thing to the other side here. So now that the bug net is on my hammock, what I'm going to do is start taking these clips, and I'm going to start to clip it to my ridge line. Again, I'm using 550 paracord. You can use the cord that came with, but using the way I like to set up my tarp when I go hammock camping, the tarp goes over my ridge line, and so I can hang this from my my tarp ridge line without having an extra piece of cordage, extra knots to worry about, that sort of thing. Now to finish it off, all you have to do is make sure your hammock is inside of the bug net. Grab this little toggle deal here and cinch it up. And you can see on the end there, you can cinch that up really tight. Bugs aren't getting in there, and that works out really, really well for me, for the most part. Now, if you use the ridge line that it came with, you can actually bring it a little bit lower. You can bring the bug net a little bit lower than your tarp ridge line. The reason why I mention that is because if I were to lay in this thing as it is, okay, what I found, if I were to lay in this thing as it is, as I've set it up here, what I found is as the tarp, or as the hammock gets tense, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that hole starts to open up. Now, if I were to sit in it, the holes on both of those ends would open up, which is why my guess is they included the extra piece of cordage. Again, the cordage they provide with it is just not long enough, not a really good piece of cordage. And I'll show you what I like to do so that this doesn't happen. All you have to do is take the very last clip on each side and unclip it. Okay, make sure both of your sides are cinched up real good, just like that. Just like that. Now, it's not exactly how they suggest to hang it. Take it as you will, but what I found is it works out really well, and I'm going to sit in it real quick and show you how well it actually works. So. So even setting it up a little bit different, you know, here, you don't miss out a lot. And when you're inside, you can't really tell the difference. I mean, there's plenty of headroom in there, plenty of playroom. So you can totally ditch that second piece of cordage and just go with a ridgeline. Now, normally when I would tarp camp, hammock camp, I have a tarp that goes over this. So some people, if you like your ridgeline above your tarp for whatever reason, you know, I would suggest bringing along another piece of paracord, because again, I don't know if you can see, you know, these two trees are not that far apart, and yet the cordage that they provide is not long enough to go around both those trees. That's it for the most part. Now, there's one piece. Now, if any of you guys have any experience with this, I got to ask you a question, because there's a little feature on this this bug net that I am just not sure what it is. I'm going to show that to you real quick. On both ends of this bug net, one of the things I'm not so sure, but you can see that the end is still cinched up, even though I put my weight in there and everything. But there's a little piece of cord that's attached here, along with this little loop. Now, in the instructions and on the E&O website, there is nothing mentioned about what this is for. I kind of have a couple ideas. I mean, I have an idea that, you know, in case you don't have a ridge line, you could tie these to trees as they are. Or use them in conjunction with the included piece of cordage, but I'm not quite sure, and it's not in any of their documentation that I found on their website, nor it's not in their setup instructions or any of the PDFs that come with it. So if you're watching this and you know what that is, what this little loop here and this little extra piece of cordage is for that's attached to the thing, please let me know. I've never used it, and I'm kind of tempted to just cut it off. So, if you know something I don't, please let me know. Finally, what I'd like to do this morning is show you how I like to put it away. Now, that's another thing with the E&O double nets. It was kind of embarrassing when I went shopping for these things, and I was in the store, and I'm trying to inspect the product, see if it's something that I want to purchase, and I pull it out of the bag, and of course the bag's attached, you know, but I pull it out of the bag, and then what? It's like I couldn't figure out how to get it back in. I'll admit I'm a total noob, but I just want to show you a little bit about, just go over the process of how I like to pack this thing up. That way you can do with it what you want, but it'll give you an idea so you don't get embarrassed in the store, pull the thing out, and have a hard time putting it back together. Alright, so to put it back together, first of all I'm going to zip the thing up. I'm going to put the zipper towards the bag, just how I like to do it. Take the leaves out. Okay. Then what I like to do is kind of spread it out a bit, make sure it's nice and open, and kind of fold it over on itself. Fold the zipper over on itself down towards the bag. This. It's a little thinner, kind of wind that up. Then what I like to do, starting from, you know, you got the bag in the middle, and you got the two sides of the bug net. This is kind of rolled down quite a bit. Okay, I like to make a really tight sort of, not a knot, but just sort of a bunch of this. Just bunch this up really tight. Again, this is very durable fabric. Make that as small of a knot as possible, or as small of a bunch as possible. I'm going to shove that first end way down in the bottom of the bag. And they fit in there pretty tight. fits. And make sure when you're putting this in, you get that bunch in there, you put it all the way, try to shove it all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Punch that up real good. Use my thumbs if I have to. Shove it in there. When it's all said and done. Oh, gotta get that cordage in there. And when everything's packed back in there, just grab that handy dandy cincher there. There you go. Pull that tight. Push the toggle in there. Button it up, cinch it down. Again, this is the E&O Guardian Bug Net, and I think it's a great product. It's well worth the money, especially in Michigan when it gets hot and muggy on those summer nights. Those mosquitoes are out like gangbusters. Definitely suggested as far as a bug net. I tooled around with trying to make one myself, looking up, we did some research in terms of where I could get the material at, and for the price, it just wasn't worth the time when I could just buy this. This wasn't that much more money than what it would have cost for me to get the materials from, say, Joann Fabrics or somewhere online anyways. And E&O makes good stuff. They put a lot of hard work into their products. It's good quality stuff, and so don't waste your time trying to make it, in other words, because unless you know someplace where you can get that no-seam fabric on the cheap, and this is already set up for hammock, you don't have to worry about all the patterns and so. I'll admit there's some reward to making your own gear. There's some sense of self-satisfaction, that sort of thing, and I'll give you props if that's what you want to do. But for me, time is money, and so it was just easier for me to just spend the money on this product and then get it. And I highly suggest it. It's really durable fabrics, really good seams. The seams are really good, really quality seams. Plus, it's really small. It's lightweight, and for a bug, as far as a bug net goes. So, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was a help to you in showing you a little bit about bug nets and hammock camping and that sort of thing. I would appreciate your comments on it if you want to let me know what you think, or if you have another way of hanging these things, or especially if you know what that stupid cord is. Otherwise, I'm cutting it off. I'm sick of having to deal with it in here. It's just one more little piece of something that I can get rid of out of my pack, and if you're a backpacker, you just trim everything you can. So thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate your views. If you want to learn more about this E&O Guardian Bug Net, you can head over to my website, davidspassage.com. I'll post some pictures of it on there, and there'll be a product link to it if you want to purchase one. But thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your views, appreciate your subscriptions, your comments, and appreciate your likes on Facebook or on Twitter and all that good stuff. So I just love interacting with the camping community. So thanks again for watching. You guys have a great day, and have a great rest of whatever's left of camping season, which really doesn't have an end, does it? In the meantime, head on over to davidspassage.com. Thanks again.
Hey there everyone, Aaron here. Welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. I'm super excited to give you the review on the Eagle Nest Outfitters Jungle Nest Hammock. I haven't seen a lot of reviews for this item. I think it's new to the market here in 2014. This is basically designed after their single nest, and then they have and then it comes with the bug net as well. It's all one piece. I picked this up at REI for $100 is what I got this for, and I wanted to really test out a hammock versus tent camping. That's what I've always done when I'm doing backpacking or car camping. I've always done it you know, with a tent, and I wanted to see how good a hammock would be. So I know that Eagle Nest Outfitters make some really good quality hammocks. So I wanted to pick this guy up, and I wanted to also fight the bugs, because you never want to get eaten alive, you know, while you're camping and while you're trying to sleep. So let me give you a couple basic specs here. Basically, what you're looking at when it's compact in my hand, you're looking at 8 inches high and 5.5 inches wide. Compact like this, all set up. It weighs 1 pound 11 ounces, so that's really nice, lightweight. And again, remember, that's including the bug net that is attached to the hammock itself, which is awesome. It is made out of ripstop nylon, so it's going to be very heavy duty, very good quality. I really kind of put it through the ringer with some of my setup and stuff, and it's definitely good quality and will support 400 pounds. So even if you're a pretty big person, you can get into this Eno hammock, the Jungle Nest hammock, and use it on your backpacking, hiking, camping, whatever you'd want to do. So let's go ahead and get out there, and I'll begin to show you it getting set up and putting it together, and you know, see if this Eagle Nest is worth a purchase for you. So let's go out there and begin to use it.
Okay, so we got the hammock here, and I'm going to go ahead and set it up. I have my Atlas straps by Eno also already attached to the tree. We'll have a link in the description below for those Atlas straps. Those things are awesome. So here's my little stuff sack, basically, that is the hammock. I'm gonna grab the Jungle Nest, and the stuff sack is part of the hammock. I believe I already said that, which is nice, so you're not gonna lose your stuff sack or something like that. That would suck. So get it all out there. There she blows. There's the hammock. And here are our attachments. And we can kind of show you guys here. So it comes with a really nice strong carabiner that will hold 400 pounds. It says it right on there. It says max weight 400 pounds on the carabiner. Then you got really nice, I'm trying to get in the light here for you guys, set of large rope that is attached and then box weaved all a ton inside each corner. So very good quality carabiner, good quality rope that's going to, you know, be the support for you and attached to either the paracord you're using, other rope you're using, or Atlas straps from Eno. Any way you slice it, it's going to be just really well designed on each corner, and I like this carabiner and then the rope feature, so you don't have to kind of worry about setting all that up either. And you know that you got some really good quality heavyweight stuff that will support you when you're hanging up suspended in the air. So we're going to go ahead, attach the first one here. You just got to kind of eyeball it a little bit. And that's what's awesome with these Atlas straps. They have loops all the way through, about every 3.5 to 4 inches. There's a loop, a loop, a loop. So you can easily kind of adjust it to the size you need. Here. This is hanging a little too low. Alright guys, so we did a little bit of adjusting on the Atlas straps, just kind of brought them down a little bit, and then I stretched it out so that when I'm pushing down on my hammock, it's not going past probably about 15-20 degrees on the angle. You know, you don't want it looking like a banana and having it all up like that. Then it's going to be very uncomfortable for you to sleep. So you want it, when you're pushing down on it, to be very slight in its curve. You don't want it to be looking like a banana. You want it almost to be straight. So we're good with that. Now, normally on most Enos, you know, that don't have an open mouth, that don't have a mosquito net like the Jungle Nest does, you would just, you know, I just jump in, we're good to go. But I want to set this up because I'm near some water. I've already seen some mosquitoes around and I want to get eaten alive tonight, and that's why I bought this. So what the Jungle Nest has is a mosquito net. Now you don't have to use it. You can just kind of roll it up to the side and hop in and sleep if you're not worried about the bugs, or if you're just taking a nap, you know, or something like that. But if you do want to use it, you have to set it up. And this little Jungle Nest comes with, I wouldn't really even call this paracord. It's heavy duty, but it's thinner than 550. This will probably do about 20 feet, and that's all. So when you have to wrap around bigger trees, it's not really a lot of cordage. You're going to definitely want to upgrade to probably at least 50 feet of paracord. I happen to have 25 feet on me, so I'm going to go ahead and run that around the tree, and then we'll show you how you attach the mosquito netting so it's not just laying on your face. Okay, so again, I'm just going to kind of show this to you. Got the Atlas straps, awesome straps, hooked on there. Again, really good cordage there attached to the Jungle Nest, and then 400 rated carabiner. Go down. There's the little stuff sack that acts as a secondary little storage pocket, and then there's the rest of it right here. Another set. And again, this is what's so great with these Atlas straps, is that there are loops all the way along the strap, which are awesome. Then I just took my 550 paracord, ran a secondary line, probably about 3 feet above. And it doesn't need to be super, you know, some specialty knot or anything like that, because this is what we do now for the mosquito netting. What it has on each corner, by your feet and by your head, is this little toggle elastic loop, and elastic loop, like a bungee, and then this little hook right here. So I am just going to trying to do all of this by myself today. The rest of my crew have to work. So there we go. We hooked that one up. Here's the other one right here. These are adjustable. I'm going to show this to you in just a second. And we're going to hook it on. There we go. And we are good to go. Here is the Jungle Nest, fully set up, ready for me to jump into it with the mosquito net set up. Again, you can see that 550 paracord. It is attached to the mosquito netting to keep it off my face. Real nice setup there. Got really good zipper right here that has, I believe, two, one on either end, so it just depends on whichever end you're sleeping on. Very lightweight material in here, very nice, gotta love that. And there is a little storage pocket right there, so you can put your cell phone, keys, flashlight, whatever right there. So I would recommend putting your head there, and then again, the stuff sack acts as just a little dump bag. You can put other things right there. So let's go ahead and get in this thing and give it a shot. There we go. Now I'm inside, hanging out. I need to do a little adjustment. My feet are a little higher than my head, but not bad at all. And then I can either, again, if this wasn't here, this will just be rolled off to the side, the net. And then if I need to, grab the zippers and zip that sucker up.
All right, everybody, so I have just woken up from using my hammock overnight. It was probably in the 40s, and I have plus 15 REI Moab sleeping bag. Worked fine. It was very comfortable. I don't have any back pain. I do tend to sleep on my side, so that was a little weird, having to get used to not being able to sleep on my side in the hammock. But you know, I wasn't too cold because I was off the ground or anything like that. I didn't really experience a lot of that. Maybe with a lot of wind that might change, but it was very comfortable, as you guys have seen. Very easy and quick to set up. Definitely, I mean, I'm going to keep using the hammock. You know, if there are trees around, I'm going to probably be using this hammock because it's definitely comfortable. I like using it a lot, and just kind of, you know, keeps you up off the ground, which is a big plus. And yeah, it's nice waking up without any aches and pains, versus when I usually even use my air mattress or whatever on a camping trip, you know, or a Thermarest. And here is the Chinook, just to show you real quick, the Chinook technical guide tarp that is attached to my mosquito netting line. So that was my rain shelter as well. It did not rain, but it's nice to have. So there you go, guys, as we kind of wrap up this video on the Eagle Nest Outdoors Jungle Nest hammock. I like it, and it's definitely a cool new way to be able to enjoy the outdoors and sleep in the outdoors. Thanks so much for watching.